your body comprehensible? Is your body adaptable? Is your body soft? Is your body intelligent? Do you synchronize with other bodies? Do you master your own movement? Did you work out your soul today? When was the last time you practiced your mirror neurons? Does your flesh melt like butter? Do you modulate your flesh? Do you feel like a cocoon? Are you in transition? How would you insist on them? Are you really awake? Do you think slowness is the response to our problem of speed? Why going fast? Do you keep it real? Is your reality taking space in real life or in another dimension? Do you restrict your reality? Do you work in a restricted body? Do you work against something? Do you remember to love? Do you sense others? Can you develop artificial love? Do you dare to kiss? Is each day another circle? Who has the right to die? Can you imagine your rebirth? Can a human being develop artificial intelligence? Could a machine simulate love? Are you a techno-trance transmitter? Do you feel artificial? How do you define force? Can a womb be a force? Are you a warrior? Are you the real superhuman trying to navigate in the dark, blindfolded? How would you be radical and mild at the same time? When was the last time you called for revolution? Who has the right to speculate? Have you been in the center of things? Are you afraid of centers? you able to say what you see? Are you afraid of dissensus? If we are looking at the same thing, looking the same, acting the same, how could multiplicity arise? Do you have the capacity to be in the center of the faster trades? Is migration a concern for you? Are you part of the 99%? Do you have a dream? Are you afraid of dreaming of a society where corporations do not have the most power? Would you consider having your grandmother's memories on a hard drive? Would you add external memory to your brain? Would you consider having an artificial friend? Can you teach an artificial intelligence to dance? Is your body comprehensible? Is your body adaptable? Is your body soft? Is your body intelligent? Do you think a question can change anything?
Do you synchronize with other bodies? Do you master your own movement? Did you work out your soul today? When was the last time you practiced your mirror neurons? Does your flesh melt like butter? Do you modulate your flesh? Do you feel like a cocoon? Are you in transition? How would you insist on them? Are you really awake? Why going fast? Do you keep it real? Is your reality taking space in real life or in another dimension? Do you restrict your reality? Do you work in a restricted body? Do you work against something? Do you remember to love?
This place that Proust slowly, anxiously comes to occupy, anew every time he awakens. From that place, as soon as my eyes are open, I can no longer escape. Not that I'm nailed down by it, since after all, I can not only move, shift, but I can also move it, shift it, change its place. The only thing is this: I cannot move without it. I cannot leave it there where it is, so that I myself may go elsewhere. I can go to the other end of the world. I can hide in the morning under the covers, make myself as small as possible. I can even let myself melt under the sun at the beach. It will always be there, where I am. It is here, irreparably. It is never elsewhere. My body, it's the opposite of a utopia, that which is never under different skies. It is the absolute place. the little fragment of space where I am literally embodied. My body, pitiless place. And if by chance I lived with it in a kind of worn familiarity, as with a shadow or as with those everyday things that ultimately I no longer see, that life has grayed out, like those chimneys, those roofs that line the sky every night in front of my window. Still, every morning, same presence, same wounds. In front of my eyes, the same unavoidable images are drawn, imposed by the mirror, thin face, slushing shoulders, myopic gaze, no more hair, not handsome at all. And it is in this ugly shell of my head, in this cage I do not like, that I will have to reveal myself and walk around. Through this grill I must speak, look and be looked at. Under this skin I will have to rot. My body, it is the place without recourse to which I am condemned. And actually I think it is against this body that all these utopias have come into being. The prestige of utopia. To what does utopia owe its beauty, its marvel? Utopia is a place all outside other places, but it is a place where I will have a body without a body that will be beautiful, limpid, transparent, luminous, speedy, colossal in its power, infinite in its duration, unethered, invisible, protected, always transfigured. It may very well be the first utopia, the one most deeply rooted in the hearts of men, is precisely the utopia of an incorporeal body. The land of fairies, land of gnomes, of genies, magicians. Well, it is the land where bodies transport themselves at the speed of light. It is the land where wounds are healed with marvelous beauty in the blink of an eye. It is the land where you can fall from a mountain and pick yourself up unscathed. It is the land where you're visible and you want invisible when you desire. If there is a land of fairy tales, it is precisely so that I may be its prince charming, and that all the pretty boys they may turn nasty and hairy as bears. There's also an utopia made for erasing bodies. This utopia is the land of death, those grand utopian cities of the Egyptian civilizations left behind. What is a mummy after all? Well, a mummy is the utopia of the body negated and transfigured. The mummy is the great utopian body that persists across time. There were also the golden masks that the Mycenaean civilization placed over the faces of defunct kings. Utopia of their body, glorious, powerful and solar, of a terror disarmed.
Can you teach an artificial intelligence to dance?
Is your body comprehensible? Is your body adaptable? Is your body soft? Is your body intelligent?
Do you think a question can change anything?
Do you synchronize with other bodies? Do you master your own movement? Did you work out your soul today? When was the last time you practiced your mirror neurons? Does your flesh melt like butter? Do you modulate your flesh? Do you feel like a cocoon? Are you in transition how would you insist on them? Are you really awake? Do you think slowness is the response to our problem of speed? Why going fast? Do you keep it real? Is your reality taking space in real life or in another dimension? Do you restrict your reality? Do you work in a restricted body? Do you work against something? Do you remember to love? Do you sense others? Can you develop artificial love? Do you dare to kiss? Is each day another circle? Who has the right to die? Can you imagine your rebirth? Would you consider having a baby in an external artificial womb? Could a machine stimulate love? Are you a technotrance transmitter? Do you feel artificial? How do you define force? Can a womb be a force? Are you a warrior? Are you the real superhuman trying to navigate in the dark, blindfolded? How would you be radical and mild at the same time? When was the last time you called for revolution? Who has the right to speculate? Have you been in the center of things? Are you afraid of centers? Are you able to say what you see? Are you afraid of this census? If we're looking at the same thing, looking the same, acting the same, how could multiplicity arise? Do you have the capacity to be in the center of the faster trades? Is migration a concern for you? Are you a part of the 99%? Do you have a dream? Are you afraid of dreaming of a society where corporations do not have the most power? Would you consider having your grandmother's memories on a hard drive? Would you add external memory to your brain? Would you consider having an artificial friend? Can you teach an artificial intelligence to dance?
Is your body comprehensible? Is your body adaptable? Is your body soft? Is your body intelligent?
Do you think a question can change anything?
Do you synchronize with other bodies? Do you master your own movement? Did you work out your soul today? When was the last time you practiced your mirror neurons? Does your flesh melt like butter? Do you modulate your flesh? Do you feel like a cocoon? Are you in transition? Are you really awake? Do you think slowness is the response of our problem of speed? Why going fast? Do you keep it real? Is your reality taking space in real life or in another dimension? Do you restrict your reality? Do you work in a restricted body?
Allows the individual to enter into the enclosed space of the monk or into the invisible network of society, then one sees that everything that touches the body, drawings, colors, diadems, clothes, uniforms, all that, lets the utopia sealed in the body blossom into sensible and colorful form. And perhaps then one should descend beneath the cloth. One should perhaps reach the flesh itself, and then one would see that in some cases even the body itself turns its own utopian power against itself, allowing all the space of the religious and the sacred, all the space of the other world, all the space of the counter world to enter into the space that is reversed for it. So the body, then, in its materiality, in its flesh, would be like the product of its own phantasm. After all, isn't the body of the dancer precisely a body dilated along an entire space that is both exterior and interior to it? And the drugged also, and the possessed whose bodies become hell, the stigmatized, whose bodies become suffering, redemption and salvation, a bloody paradise. Really, it was silly for me before to believe that the body was never elsewhere. It was an irremediable here, and it is opposed itself to any utopia. My body in fact is elsewhere always. It is tied to all the elsewheres of the world. And to tell the truth, it is elsewhere than in the world, because it is around it than things are arranged. It is in relation to it. And in relation to it as if it's in relation to a sovereign. that there is a below, and above, a right, a left, a forward, and a backward, a near and a far. The body is the 0 point of the world. There where path and spaces come to meet, the body is nowhere. It is at the heart of the world, this small utopian kernel from which I dream, I speak, I proceed, I imagine, I perceive things in their place, and I negate them also by the indefinite power of the utopias I imagine. My body is like the city of the sun. It has no place, but it is from all of the possible places, real or utopian, emerge and radiate. After all, children take a long time to know that they have a body. For months, for more than a year, they only have a dispersed body of limbs, cavities, orifices. And all of this only gets organized, all of this gets literally embodied only in the image of the mirror. Stranger still is the way Homer's Greek had no word to designate the unity of the body. As paradoxical as it may be, on the walls defended by Hector and his companions facing Troy, there was nobody. There were raised arms, there were brave chests, there were nimble legs, there were helmets shimmering atop heads. There was nobody. The Greek word for body only appears in Homer's to designate the corpse. It is this corpse, consequently. It is the corpse, and it is the mirror that teaches us, or at least that taught the Greek then, and that teach children now, that we have a body, that this body has a form, and that this form has an outline. That in this outline there is a thickness, a weight. In short, that the body occupies a place. It is the mirror and it is the corpse that assign a space to the profoundly and originally utopian experience of the body. It is the mirror and it is the corpse that silence and appease and shut into a closure. This great utopian rage that dilapidates and volatilizes our bodies at very instant. It is thanks to them, thanks to the mirror and to the corpse, that our body is not pure and simple utopia. And yet, if one considers that the image of the mirror resides for us in an inaccessible space, and that we will never be able to be there where our corpse will be. If one thinks that the mirror and the corpse are themselves in an invincible elsewhere, then one discovers that only utopias can close in one themselves, and hide for an instant the profound and the sorrow reign of the utopian bodies. Maybe it should also be said that to make love is to feel one's body close in oneself. It is finally to exist outside of any utopia, with all of one's density between the hands of the other, under the other's fingers running over you. All the invisible parts of your body begins to exist. Against the lips of the other, yours becomes sensitive. In front of his half-closed eyes, your face acquires a certitude. There is a gaze, finally, to see your closed eyelids. Love also, like the mirror and like death. It appeases the utopia of your body. It hushes it, it calms it. It encloses it as if it's in a box. It shuts and seals it. This is why love is so closely related to the illusion of the mirror and the menace of death. And if, despite these two perilous figures that surround it, we love so much to make love, it is because in love the body is here.